This should be more than enough transmission. Then the 4 of these tubes, 4 of these plates. Quick video of the time lapse. I was using the pulse to control the heat. Pretty happy with it. Going to load it up. Thanks to the old man, we smashed the chassis back together. It's all ready to go. See at inspection in the morning and see what they have to say about it. Hopefully it all goes well and we can continue on with the build. G'day, welcome back to the channel and the home of Stick Shift Garage. Pretty exciting day today. Just picked up the transmission from the transmission builder. This has been a long time coming. Between getting parts made in the US, the Transbrake auto valve body I got made over in Texas, and then I picked it up at SEMA last year when I was in the US. Waiting on parts in Australia, and obviously busy builder. It's taken probably 18 months all up. Really excited that it's here now, ready to go, and keen to pull the glider up off and have a look. Now my plan the whole time was to basically overbuild the drive line for this car and have sort of the only thing holding it back at the moment, the power limitation. So this is a 4L80. What they would probably call a stage 5. So it's rollarized, billet input shaft, billet main shaft, Pro Mod drum, 36 element sprag. This is a big dollar transmission build. Advertised around the 1600 horsepower mark with a I chose to go auto trans brake, so this will be a computer shifted automatic like your standard car with a trans brake launch capability. This should be more than enough transmission than the car should ever need, especially being light. So this same combination is currently running 8 5s and a full weight Commodore in Perth. Billet Sonax output yoke. Fabricated Moroso pan. This fits perfect and gives me enough clearance. Can't wait to get it in the chassis, finish this off and get it over to inspection in a week's time. Back in the shed today, gonna continue on with the chassis here and try and get a lot of this finished off. We'll see how we get on. Finish off the rear coilover mounts, a couple of tube braces here just to support that, and just weld out the rest of all the falling stuff and the track locator on the floor. So then we can start spraying it and putting it back together. Done a fair bit with the cameras off, just makes it a bit quicker and easier to do things. So made up 4 of these tubes, 4 of these plates, and already got them sitting on this side, just held in there with a magnet. So this will be the rear coilover support, just to add a bit more strength to that bracket there. The smaller plates just finish off this anti-roll bar or sway bar mount. Just nice and simple. And the rear of the 4-link bars here. So if you're not super familiar with a 4-link, the way it works under heavy acceleration is the bottom section actually pushes, so your bottom bar will push forward and your top bar will pull back, which is why on some of the Pro Mod stuff and the real high powered cars, you see the bottom actual 4-link bar is fatter than the top one because there's a lot more force going through it. So I'll whack these in the other side and start to tack them all out. Getting closer to finishing off now. Got this side all tacked in nicely. Gaps are all nice. ready to weld out. So shifted the magnets and the brackets over to the other side. So we'll get them ones tacked in. Just been welding it out, modified a sash clamp here just to keep that spread open. Using a combination of TIG weld on all the chromoly and busted out the MIG for these 5mm plate brackets. I don't really see an issue with the MIG, you can still get a nice finish, put plenty of heat in it, definitely has its purpose. High deposition rate, way faster than the TIG, and I don't really see why it receives so much hate, to be honest. Upside down for the last time, just finished TIG welding out all our brackets. Chick was here to give me a hand, sitting around. So that's the last of all the chassis components welded out on the chassis. Just got the 4-link bars, track locator, anti-roll bar, and that's still to go. Quite a long, tedious process for the TIG welding. People don't really understand how long it does take, but yeah, it takes a fair while. A lot of hours in TIG welding. Most of the things off the list now, we don't have 4-link braces, anti-roll bar gussets and plates, rear strut mounts, rear strut brace, just the 4-link and wishbone to go like I mentioned. So while it's upside down for the last time, I'll sand all this surface rust back out, finish it off and get it ready for a bit of coating of Easy Foss, and hopefully it stays nice and shiny, no rusty fingerprints on it. Just welding out the anti-roll bar. You can see in that quick video, the time lapse, I was using the pulse to control the heat so we can try and keep it nice and straight. Got all the 4-link suspension components all cleaned up, ready to weld out. Just knocked the surface rust off them all. Welded the anti-roll bar up, come out nice, and just got the bushes out of the track locator. So if you're not too familiar with this, this is basically like a panhard bar that you can add and adjust rear steer into. So this is like the 5th link in the 4-bar. So these 3 bushes sit inside, held in with that circlip, and then this shaft actually slides in and out during the suspension transition and separation in the shocks. And then a couple more heim joints here so you can basically pivot the diff to add rear steer into the car if you need to. So pull these out for welding, try and keep this fairly cool, and then we'll put them back in, ream them out, and make sure that shaft fits nice and smooth through the middle. Making and welding out the 4-link bars, just put 4 spots, drill them out, and then we rosette weld that side first, so we put a bit of heat into the pipe before we do the main join, just because these both push and pull at the same time. So all the heim joint corners and bush corners are done like that. Welding's all finished up, all the falling parts all done, so I'll give them a clean up, get rid of the heat marks and turn them to bare metal, and then we'll start the final assembly, start throwing it back together so I can roll it around and transport it. Morning's job was to press the bushes back in the track locator there, ream them to fit the shaft, got all that sorted out. Finally back on its wheels for the first time after all the welding's complete, so pretty proud, pretty happy with it. Going to load it up onto the trailer, take it somewhere, spray it, bring it back and throw the engine and new transmission into it, and that'll pretty much do us for inspection. So that's in a couple of days. So it's come down to the wire, but we've got it done and real excited to get it over with. I've got the chassis all set up, so I've got it hanging up on here on Dad's fantastic crane. Everything else is all laid out, ready to go. So about to hit it with the Easy Foss. Just picked up Dad from the airport and he's straight into it, borrowing his shed. So we'll get into it. Chassis all painted up in the Easy Foss. Turned out pretty good. I only used about a pot from the gravity feed. It goes on really thin, kind of leaves like a satin finish. Pretty hard to work out where you're actually painting the tubes because it dries like as soon as you lay it on. So it was quite a learning curve to really spray it on there, but hopefully we got everywhere. I guess we'll find out as it starts to rust, or if it doesn't, we'll work out if it was enough or not. Now time to throw it back together and get it ready for inspection. Thanks to the old man, we smashed the chassis back together. It's all ready to go, been coated, so pretty happy with how that's turned out. Here's another one of my bare metal projects, except this one's got a little bit more rust. This is a 59 Plymouth Fury. It was a running and driving car, and then it was actually in a fire which had blown out the windows, sort of rippled the roof like the ocean, the bonnet. Other than that, the side was still shiny paint, still looked pretty good. So I stripped it back to bare metal. We put a lot of work into punching the roof shape back together. The bonnet, the guard where the fire brigade pried the bonnet open. And now it's a fairly tidy car. It was imported to Australia, I think, in '89 from Sacramento.
But then we got new glass.
Yeah, so I got brand new front and rear glass from the US.
Then we managed to pick up a right-hand drive dash.
Yeah, managed, so an Australian...
So you're forgetting about all that stuff. It's been that long since you've looked at it. It's all in there in boxes. Yeah, yeah, that's right. Well, why have one when you can have two?
This is, in the box here is a Australian delivered Mopar dash, so they were fitting into the Dodges, the Plymouths,
The Sotos.
Chryslers, anything like that that was getting converted to right-hand drive. It was the same dash, basically went into everything from that late 50s, early 60s era. So that's ready to go.
Because this was a left-hand drive car which had been converted to right-hand drive.
Yeah, originally.
Yes.
But very tidy body.
Yeah, very nice body.
Back fittings on the rear. Gonna make a pretty cool custom out of it one day if I ever get to it.
You'll get to it.
But hot rod takes priority, otherwise I'll never get anything done. So you can see behind me, chassis all together. Been thrashing all week, finishing off the last few pieces. Sprayed it yesterday in the Easy Foss, so hopefully that keeps the surface rust away. Something I'm really proud of, you know, a lot of hours in the design, fabrication, towing the boundaries of performance car, street car, drag style, all modern implements into an old chassis or old chassis design. I think it's really paid off, so I guess we'll see at inspection in the morning and see what they have to say about it. Hopefully it all goes well and we can continue on with the build. Just finished down at the ASRF TAC inspections. Good news is passed perfect, so over the moon about that. Basically no issues with it at all. Couple of questions here and there, but overall received great, so really excited, so we can continue on with it. And yeah, couldn't be happier. Bit of a stress relief now, so time to go home and relax, I think. Cheers.